Hey, everybody. He's hard to label and even harder to put in a box. So you know what we did? We stopped trying. That's right. Welcome to the Brian Kennedy Show.
What's your score? What's on your scorecard? Man, golf is all over television. It's summertime, and Saturdays and Sundays, if the TV is on, no matter where I'm at, it seems like there's a golf tournament on, which is awesome. People love golf. It's really cool because it's a sport you can play forever, and it's really cool. I'm not very good at it, but golf is very popular. But something I wanted to talk about today is the scorecard. You know, golf is based on shooting par, which is what you're supposed to shoot. And if you shoot over par, then that's not good. If you shoot under par, that's really, really good. But scorecard is seems to be what it's all about in golf. But what I noticed when I was playing golf was at the turn or at the end of the round especially, I didn't really see a lot of people talk about their score. Like they didn't spend 20 minutes talking about the number. They didn't talk about their score. What I did hear them talk about was the impossible putt that they made. And they'll describe it to the detail, you know, the break and the which way the grain of the grass is and the wind. I mean, they'll go into detail that's unbelievable. But they'll talk about that for 20 minutes. Or they'll talk about the one they hit in the lake, the one that ricocheted off the tree and landed 5 feet from the cup, or the one that ricocheted back further than where they started. They may talk about the golf cart, they ran over a golf ball or ran it into the ditch, or that's what they talk about. They talk about the day. They don't talk about the number. So it got me thinking, scoreboards, is that what we do in life? Like, we do, right? We have all these scorecards, like we do it with money. We do it with how many followers we have, how many likes we have, success, how much weight we can lift, how much weight we've lost, how much weight we've gained, our age, our net worth, our career, championships, trophies, awards. In a way, we've all become professional scorekeepers. We all have these scoreboards and scorekeeping in our heads and our minds in society, I guess. So what scoreboard are you starting right now? Think about that. Nobody ever remembers the score. Keep that in mind. But they remember the eagle that they shot, which is 2 below par. Of course you remember that. You can describe it right now. The bunker shot out of the sand that was tremendous. Lost ball you couldn't find, and it was your favorite ball. Laughing so hard you couldn't swing. These are things that you remember, but you rarely remember the score. So why do we think life will be remembered any differently? So here's something I can tell you. Playing football in college, I started 3 years at the University of Mississippi as a defensive end. Man, great days, great times. We weren't great, so that wasn't great. But here's the thing, and I think I can say this without a doubt, and maybe some other players could too, but I can't tell you the score of every game I played in. I can't remember. If it was 3-0, I might remember that game. But I can't tell. Like I said, you know, when you played, you know, Alabama and whatever year, you probably want to forget that score anyway if you were playing for us. But it didn't matter what game it was, I really don't remember the score. But I remember plays. I remember events in that game. I remember the locker room before the game. I remember the locker room after the game. I remember practice leading up to that week. I remember what coaches said. I remember what players said. But I hardly could tell you a score of a game I ever played in. That's something. That's something. All right, let's take a break because you know what it's time for now. It's time for, even though I'm a songwriter, every now and then I'll hear a song and one line will just jump out and stop me. And I think to myself, what a great line. I'm Brian Kennedy. Welcome to Want to Hear a Great Line? How about this line? How about this line sung by Garth Brooks, written by Tony Arata? I could have missed the pain, but I would have had to have missed the dance. A song called The Dance. Most of you are familiar with it. What a great line. What a great line. When I think about the first time I heard that, I probably shouldn't admit this, but I might have been crying a little bit because it just was so powerful. That I think everybody has tried to say that in one way or another, and Tony found the perfect way to say it. I could have missed the pain, but I would have had to miss the dance. And the dance is so worth it, which means the pain is so worth it. I'm not sure the dance could be better without the pain. But that line, the whole song is incredible. And if you've ever gotten the chance to meet Tony Arata, what a wonderful human being. Just a great man, great soul, just a great talent. If you get to hear him play, go hear him play. But I love that line, and I think most people, when they hear that, I don't know how many times that song's been recorded. I think I've seen Garth in concert hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. And I promise this podcast is not going to be all about Garth, but I love him so much, and I've seen him do that song hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, and it still impacts me the same way every time I hear it. That's a great line. That's something when a songwriter hears something like that and they go, gosh, I wish I would have written that. That's just the biggest compliment in the world. So there we go. It's a Garth Brooks song called The Dance. Tony Arata. Could have missed the pain, but I would have had to have missed the dance. All right. Let's get back to scorecards. So I'm thinking, when I think about scorecards, I am very, very, very happy that I don't think God keeps scorecards. At least I hope he doesn't. I think that's why Jesus came, to maybe get rid of the scorecards. But he made so many things that were unbelievable. Sunsets, conversations, friendships, relationships, children, music, everything. Nothing's here without God, right? There's the fruit of the Spirit. There's faith. There's joy, peace, patience, kindness. Those are all things that aren't trophies. They're not scores. We don't keep up with scoring love, joy, peace, patience, kindness. It's just a way of life. So I wrote the book, Bring Your Own Happy, which is available on brianswebsite.com and Amazon. So I wrote this book, Bring Your Own Happy, and it ties directly to what I'm trying to talk about, because we keep believing, I think a lot of us believe, that happiness is waiting on the 18th green to see how we did, to see what our score was. And if our score is good, we're happy, right? But happy should be available to us on the first tee when we start. It's before we ever get going, because we don't have to shoot par to enjoy golf. Thank goodness. I would never enjoy golf if I had to shoot par, because I'm not a scratch golfer. Many of us aren't scratch golfers. So plug that into your life. You don't have to be perfect in life to enjoy your life, to be happy. I hope you read the book. So if someone asked you to describe your life today, And they said, or you said, here's a scorecard. Now, fill it out and describe your life. Would you hand them that scorecard back with a number on it? Or would you just start telling them stories? Would you tell them stories about everything, before, during, after? If there's one thing that I hope that you do, maybe more than anything else, other than I hope that you find Jesus some way, somehow. I hope you have great stories. If you find Jesus, you're going to have a great story. But in life, I hope you have great stories. I hope that you have joy, peace, happiness, kindness, gentleness. I hope all those things are on your scorecard. Because at the end of the deal, it can be pretty awesome to have a lifetime of great stories. It makes me so happy. I don't have to worry about my scorecard. I just want to create a great game. All right. You can look me up on Instagram. It's Brian Kennedy BK. On Facebook, it's just Brian Kennedy. And TikTok is Brian Kennedy Official. I tried to get them all the same, but it's very difficult to do these days. And on YouTube, Brian Kennedy, I don't know. Brian Kennedy Official, I don't know. It's something. I'll put it on the caption. But share, please share. That really helps. Everybody tells me that you're supposed to say that all the time, and I never do. Share, and come back for more. And please comment, because I'm doing pretty good getting back to everybody on the comments. So, hey, thanks for being here for the Brian Kennedy Show, and see you next week. I think next week, too, by the way, I've got my first guest. So excited. You are going to love this person. I can't wait. All right, next week. See you.